You're looking for melee weapons, Dom? They're mostly either primitive or psionic.
Oh, then the psionic is out of my price range.
Yeah, psi-tech weapons are super expensive.
Plus, they're out of the tech gear level anyway.
Okay. Alright, I think I'm almost done. Lol, a backpack cost 5. Okay.
Gotta get a backpack to put all your stuff in.
Oh, yeah. Where do we put the armor value in this sheet here? Because it doesn't actually say.
Question.
Stun batons, you have to have a ace power cell. How much does that cost?
Yeah, I have no idea where to put armor. I would just throw it under
armor
notes.
Class? Oh, well.
Is there an armor class thing?
I have my own sheet that is actually...
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be on the sheet from the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where you get the ammunition, like the power cells from. Type A power cell? Okay, it's under tools and medicine, I see. Yep.
I bought an A power cell because it's only 10 gold.
Do you have anything you need to put it in?
A stun baton, because I really don't want to kill people.
Okay.
But if they come in my grill, I need to protect myself. I brought a medikit, so that's good. Brought some other armor.
I'm putting in the Skype chat, just like the perfect character sheet I found. It like includes everything you need, and it calculates things for you.
I love this. Some guy's like, yeah, use your stun baton in the water.
Yeah. Thanks, bros.
All right. Okay, Dave. Tuesday, Ben from Jade Regent will be joining us.
All right, cool.
So he's also from Rise of the Runelords. We got that going down.
All right, so this is a pretty cool sheet. I'll save this.
That sounds wise. I'll be saving a copy myself.
But I'm just gonna keep filling out this sheet just for now.
Yep.
I see it.
Right when you guys have finished purchasing, put an X in the chat.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
And then if you guys want to give me like a background on who your character is and what they've done with their life, that'd be awesome.
All right, so my guy, he basically worked as a I wrote it in the email, but I'll read it back. So he's from Tandarus, who got his training as ground forces within the military. They're mostly, military police stuff. His call to action was being on a task force for dealing with the unruly mobs that formed up around people being unhappy with the constant changing of leadership within the planet. But the very moment that he was able, because they don't have a lot of like ships coming in and out of this city, out of this planet, right? Yep. So there's not a lot of spaces and stuff. So the moment he had the opportunity to do that, he kind of went AWOL. Because, military police and, he was consigned. He went AWOL and jumped aboard a ship and got the hell out of there.
Anybody else?
He also has an addiction problem to whatever drug that Arthur decides is a good one.
Blue fever.
Well, if you want to use blue fever, that's interesting, but that kind of fucks people up a little bit. So I was thinking more like some sort of version of steroids or whatever. Something that's performance enhancing a little bit, so... But yeah, that's
called Presto.
All right, Presto it is.
Yeah, I'll come up with something.
Cool. Yeah.
Anybody got a background they'd like? Oh, are you still got more?
Yeah. So then he spent the rest of his time taking on odd jobs for spaces and looking to see what he can see. Then hunting scum basically fell into his lap. Nice, easy work.
All right. I'm gonna actually ask the whole group this. What is the name of the bounty hunting company that you guys all joined?
So I was thinking that maybe me and Jim could have started that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking, since I grew up in the privileged world of the asteroid field of Adiba, that I was well educated and basically got bored of my privileged life and decided to go off and do something.
So you're the Triple H of space.
I'm the Triple H of space.
Oh god, yeah.
I got bored of my privileged lifestyle. Decided to go off and and met up with Dave some time
Mako.
ago.
Mako Spur. You can call him that.
Mako Spur, is that his name?
Yep.
Okay. And so Mako and I met up some time ago. He was the sort of front guy, and he needed the sort of behind the scenes, or the technical support, as it were, to go on missions. And so
Yeah, I needed like a handler, someone who knew the business, and I was.
so I was
mostly
telling
doing
Arthur,
things.
and hopefully Mako appreciate this better than Arthur did. I was thinking that Jefferson is sort of like, what's his name, the Punisher's sidekick guy.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I can get down with that.
Frank Castle, basically.
Yeah, I'm not much like. Basically, I need someone to like organize the bounties, and I go get them because my
Yeah,
charisma
exactly.
is in the fucking toilet. Boom, done.
Yep.
You saw a business opportunity in Mako, and Mako saw an opportunity to spread his what
I
he
saw
does
this as
best.
an opportunity to go off and do something totally different from my privileged childhood, start bounty hunting, and
Yeah.
so this is my act of rebellion, teaming up with Mako.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, you can't really change the hit die on this sheet. By the way, this Swan Song player sheet doesn't let you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, just letting you know.
All right. Anybody else got a background they'd like to share? Something they worked out?
I'm still like doing stuff.
Okay.
I think a hologram unit would be good, right? Where you can actually have videos and stuff.
Look at Mr. Fancy with all the extra money here.
Well, I'm
Like-
trying to think of.
Let me
Hey,
figure out
if
what a
you want to
hologram
do something
unit
real
is.
nice, you could buy me some of that armor. You know, something I
much
can
is that
actually
armor?
use. Just
Do
a
you want
piece of
metal
armor.
plate? Because I think you'll just look ridiculous if you buy anything more.
I
Oh,
brought
well-
the bioscanner because it helps me with the aid. I got the first aid kit. I got the Stumbatron. I got 3 batteries. I got a patch, and I got a hollow thing. And
Well, I
I'm
was
just looking
thinking,
through.
like, armored undersuit or something like that, or woven body armor or something.
I don't
Um,
think he can afford any of that.
Well, that's 400 cost, so.
I
Well,
was
yeah,
about
but
to
he's
buy that,
already
and I was
spent
like,
a
I need
lot.
tech.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
did.
am gonna go up to armored assault suit, by the way, eventually. I just need the money, so.
He's like, one of these days, I'm
Mhm.
gonna get out of the natural world and become a space-based survivalist.
Well, the other thing I was gonna do was like go into unarmed, because when you get to level 2 unarmed, you can punch motherfuckers in power armor. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be Iron Man up in space.
Nice.
Alright, I think I'm
see
ready
now.
to
Yeah, you got a hollow unit and you got a battery for it. Okay. Hi, do you have a backstory?
Well, stuff we need to like do stuff with.
I've been toying with something, but no, nothing I'd like.
All right.
I could put.
So I'm gonna do
Bye.
a commercial real quick for the Powers Institute, just so you guys get an idea of what they're like.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is something you might see on TV, and so the announcer starts like looking away from the TV, and then he's got his hands like this, and he goes, "Do you think you're psychic? Maybe. Join the Powers Institute today." And there's like a third eye that appears on his forehead, and then it's like the Powers Institute, a not-for-profit organization for the betterment of all psychic kind. Join today as an acolyte. You don't even have to be psychic to join. Find your local recruiter on any major world.
Hmm.
And then it goes back to the guy with the third eye, and he's like,
Yeah. I like that. So, real quickly, Arthur, attack bonus for weapons.
Yep.
What is brought into that?
"That's an excellent question."
So I got a natural attack bonus for being a warrior, and I got +1 for dex.
So you roll d20, you add armor class of your target.
Oh no, it's asking for like attack bonus in the weapon section here. So
It's on your warrior thing, right?
yeah, so it's +1 for warrior, but what else is brought in?
Well, that's
Just
just it. Your
the
attack bonus
attribute
is
bonus?
just +1. Your
Oh.
attack bonus is not the same thing as what you're gonna roll.
Okay, so I thought the attack bonus was like everything that's included when you shoot this
No.
pistol.
No, that's gonna be your total bonus, which is gonna include your target's AC. So
Okay.
to shoot somebody, the total is... I'm all mixed up here.
So that's why I was going to add the because basically I've got so for my mag pistol, the bonus that I get when I don't add AC is like 3, and my stun pistol is okay. So
when you want to attack, you add target's armor class plus your combat skill plus your attribute modifier for guns. That's typically going to be dexterity, and for gunnery on ships or vehicles is going to be intelligence, and your attack bonus.
okay.
Oh, I like how somebody noticed that Starship Troopers reference.
Awesome.
That was Timothy Omenson, man. He went on to have a pretty banging career. Would you like to know more?
Would you
A
like to
murderer
know?
is being executed tonight, 8 p.m. on all channels.
So so the leather armor is actually pretty decent because you get 3 armor for like $10. It's pretty cheap.
It's also primitive, which means that most weapons are going to cut right past it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
It's better than nothing, I suppose.
So you're like this guy, you're walking around with this gigantic ass pistol like strapped on you, and you're wearing like sheepskin.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
Pretty much.
I'm a bounty hunter. And they're like, yeah, what do you hunt? Horse?
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I basically grabbed my bug out bag and I got the fuck off the planet. That's my excuse for not having gear. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll buy a leather jacket. Why not?
Well, you need some armor, bruh.
No, he's buying the leather coat so that all of you have matching leather coats, right?
Yep. We're all Star
mean-
Lord.
Do we have? We're
I tell you
all
what.
Star-Lord.
Yeah. God. I was actually considering making him, but they don't have laser weapons that don't do non-lethal, which is what I was attempting to do originally.
So do we have a name for this
Okay.
mercenary corporation?
Jim, do you have an idea? You're the CEO of this bunch.
Tunnels. We're the tunnel snakes.
What?
Saying Fallout 3 was so good.
What about something like, I don't know,
Well, you're probably based out of the mercenary planet, which is the system of Rusina.
What's their ethnicity or
What's
language?
Scandinavian.
What's the ethnicity of Rusina?
Yeah.
So Rusina doesn't really have an ethnicity. There's like a mix of all these different cultures.
Okay.
They have what you would account to like taxilingua or thieves' cant. They basically have their own like mercantile language because they're at the center point of 4 different interstellar empires. Everybody goes there to buy everything. I like
Alright.
that. I think taxilingua is probably going to be their language.
Taxilingua.
Taxilingua. It's from what was that book? Snow Crash. It's the language of taxi drivers.
It's terrible.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the Kipriano
See, I really want
asteroid
to
belt.
Mako's
in-
last name. I want to make it Spurs something or something like that.
Okay.
Or, or Mako's. We're not mercenaries though. We're bounty hunters. I'm saying Mako's mercs would be.
What about like
Mako's Marauders. Rico's Roughnecks.
well, I mean like
Because we got a brand Mako Spur. I mean, that's. I should put points in culture business, like Sicarian.
well, I mean like there is a background you can get that has business in it.
You
that
guys can call
has-
yourself Boots and Spurs. That's the old cowboy. That's Teddy Roosevelt type stuff there.
Right now I'm doing the math. I'm like overspent by like 60, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
what do I cut?
Cut the hollow unit
Mm.
and the battery. There you go. That's exactly 60, right?
Well, don't think too much on it, man. It doesn't really matter in the end. So
Oh, it'll matter. It'll matter. They'll be sitting there. It's like, if only I had a hollow unit and a Type A battery.
no, I'm talking
I
about
could've
Jim.
saved them.
I'm talking about Jim.
I'm
Yeah.
dwelling on this name thing, and it's bothering me that I'm.
Maybe you
I don't
guys
know.
are just an LLC. You haven't figured out the name yet.
Maybe by the end of this episode, we'll turn to each other and be like,
I got
"All
it.
right,
There it
Yeah.
is.
yeah,
All right.
Light bulb moment. Yeah.
well, yeah, we'll let that organically come out of the game, I suppose."
All right. So let's describe where you guys are beginning at. If all the players are ready to go ahead, everyone's good.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out my skills, but
All right. Again, in the AT system, on the planet Rupa, it's a hybrid biosphere where, like the natural life has mixed. The natural life of the planet, like the alien ecosystem, has mixed well with the Terran biosphere that the colonists brought with them. And yeah, so it's ruled by an organization called the Church of the New Roman Catholic Saints. They're like a mix of Judaism plus like Shinto, Buddhism plus Roman Catholic. It's very strange. They've got like thousands of rules on how you're supposed to act, and they change based on the lunar calendar of the world you're on.
Hmm.
So even though it's worshipped in 3 different major systems, in each system it's completely different because of that lunar calendar. But
Okay.
they love outsiders. They absolutely love it. But they have one pretty major rule, and that is that if you commit a crime anywhere else in the system, you're fine here. There's no extradition. If you commit a crime here, they send bounty hunters after you. But extraditing someone is super illegal. And that is why people send guys like you in to extradite these criminals. So, your
Makes
job
sense.
is to find the client who wants to extradite somebody, go in, find information about the target, secure the target, store them, and then get them off planet. And from there, you're good. As long as no one finds out what you've done, you're perfectly fine.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
the person that you need to meet with, your client, is Father Dr. Roberto Garcia of the Hacienda of Los Buenos. And he is a pretty major missionary force on this planet. He works for the church. And because he works for the church, that means he's actually works for the government. And we begin in a small bar, and there's a timer. It's like 11:58 and some seconds remaining. December 31st, 31:99. And we've got Mako sitting across from a man, and the man goes, "Perhaps you want a cigarette, friend?"
Yeah.
And the camera zooms out a little bit, and the guy's like, "Well, in this position, I can't reach my left pocket with my left hand. You want to reach in there and pull the pack out?"
I think I'll be all right. Sitting right here.
All right. We keep zooming out, and beneath the table, they both have guns pointed at each other's crotches.
Hell yeah, you know it. I knew what was going on exactly.
Han shot first. Han shot first.
As we keep
See
zooming
my
out,
char-
there's like a group of 3 mariachi band players, but they have traditional Japanese guitars called shamisen, and they come over and they're like, "Hola, señors. Perhaps you would like a mariachi." The guy looks
I
at
don't
you,
take my- I
sweat
don't take-
beating down his face.
And I don't look up at all, and I say, "Yeah,
They're like, "Is there a particular song you would like to hear,
you
senor?"
You got this. I
All
trust."
right.
Is Mako on comms?
So what happens is we keep zooming out.
I don't
and
have
we
a comm
see
unit,
that
man.
sitting back to back with the guy who has a gun on Mako is Dr. Thigh. And
Sir
then
Dr.
we
Thigh.
keep zooming out some more. We get a look at the bartender. The bartender is actually Jefferson Thorne. We keep and you've got like your gun is like underneath the counter, and you've got like one hand on it and the other hand you're cleaning a glass. We keep zooming out some more. Hi, what's your character's name?
It's Zaphod.
Yeah, Zaphod's like leaning against a table with like he's covering his gun, but it's pointed at the guy that's got his gun, and then we hear like surprise, and everybody's like, "Yeah, Happy New Year!" And this guy's like sweating really hard. He's like, "Well, don't know how we're gonna resolve this one, partner." And in the background, the guys are like all starting the mariachi. They're like, ay, 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 amor.
So I look
I'm
at him
just
dead in
reading
the
the
eye.
book.
I'm just like stone face. Like Mako's just like stone face. He's not sweating. He's not perspirating at all. And he looks at the guy and he goes, "You realize you're right fucked, right?"
He says, why don't you just go back where you came from, bounty hunting scum? And,
Nope. Not gonna happen, mate. Not gonna happen.
What?
You listen
What?
here. You listen good. You're gonna pull away your piece, right? There's at least 6 of us in our room with hot barrels pointed right at you.
He looks around. He's like, there's only 3 other people here and the musicians. You're saying they all belong with you?
What do you think?
He starts looking at the mariachi players and he's like, okay. I don't know if I believe you or not. Starts looking around the room at all the rest of you.
Why don't you take that
You
shot
see
then?
you see me lower down my book, and I say, if you die, I can just fix you. So
You're sitting right
Either way,
behind
you're
him.
coming
He's
with
like,
us.
what the hell? He like slips out another gun. He's like putting it over his shoulder at you. Like,
just a doctor, sir.
listen here, mercenary scum. You're just gonna let me walk up. I'm gonna walk out of here. All right? Sorry I pulled a piece on you. I don't think you're here for my bounty. Just let me go.
All right. I don't say anything. I just look him straight in the eye when he does
All
that.
right, he starts standing up slowly. He brings his gun up from under the counter.
I
Just
stand.
standing
I
up.
do exactly the same thing he's doing.
Okay. He trades his gun on you, so he's got 2 guns on you. He's just like, I'm just
Can I
gonna
make
move.
can I make a talk to him, like persuasion?
Yeah, sure. What are you
Just
trying to
to-
persuade him to do, though?
You should just give yourself up. I think you're kind of outnumbered.
Okay. He's
I
like,
just nod.
roll the persuasion.
What do I roll for it?
2d6 plus your charisma plus your
Persuasion.
persuasion modifier.
Okay, I have persuasion twice in my packet. How many points
That's
do I
plus
add?
1. So you get a 0 and then a 1.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do.
So if your
Typically,
charisma is
you want to
positive
roll
as
higher
well.
than a 7.
Yeah.
Can I like manipulate his guns to actually shoot himself?
If you wanted to use your power, you could like jerk the guns back up at him. And
Oh
cause him to
shit,
shoot
that's a
himself.
good one.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, listen, you're making a good point. I'm feeling a little surrounded right now.
That's
Just
because you are.
Calm down, son.
But
Just
that's
put the
not what I
guns
was
down.
actually doing, by the way. It was just
Okay.
a question.
He's like, I just want to walk out of here. Thought you were hunting me. I don't know what's going on now. And so he like uncocks both of his pistols and like puts them away.
At the moment he does that, I pistol whip him.
Okay.
It's like,
And
So
with the-
as you do that, all the mariachi music stops, and he's like, "Senor, you can have your gun out, but please do not harm the other guests. We'll
Is
have
there
the
a-
bartender throw you out." He looks at
I look over at the bartender. it's like,
Jefferson
Yeah.
just smiles.
it's like
Nods.
I think I'll be all right.
like, "Please, senor, return to your seat and listen to the wonderful mariachi music. We will bring you out some more miso soup and another taco salad."
I do lamb then talk.
It's on the house.
Hey, question: do you take a negative too if you don't know anything about a skill?
Yep.
Yeah, you
So
take a
if you
negative
don't
one.
have a point in it, you take a negative. So if you had, for example, if you had nothing in persuasion, you'd be -1 on your roll.
Okay, so I don't have to distribute points; it's just automatically because of the packet.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's cool. Cause I'm like trying to do negatives, and won't let me do negatives, which is like what?
Yeah, it's just it
Yeah.
doesn't take positives or negatives in that skill sheet. Yeah. So who's this guy that's pointing guns at us? By the way,
You have no idea. Like,
it's
you
like, oh,
guys-
okay.
you
Well, then in
guys
that
came
case,
in
I
here,
mean,
you just sat down, started giving yourself drinks, and he
Mm.
just pulled a gun on you and was like, "I'm not going alive."
all right. Well, in that case, it's like, I don't even know who you are. You can go.
So, okay.
After you pistol whipped him.
No. I revert back. I didn't.
Okay, he starts like he keeps his hands on his revolvers, but he starts like moseying backwards. He's like, "Mighty kind of you, stranger. Just remember, bounty hunting for the interstellar empires ain't legal around these parts. You watch yourselves. And like as soon as he's out the door, he turns, he starts running. He's like, ay, 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 ay.
I sit back down and look up at the mariachi band. I'm like, you said something about a taco salad?
He's like, yes, senor. We bring you out taco salad and miso soup. Local Mexipan special.
I approve.
All right. Now, is there like a version of space cigarettes?
Yeah, sure. They're called
Cigarettes.
space cigarettes.
Okay, like maybe
Yeah,
like
I'm not
He
sure.
was just
what-
about to offer you a cigarette, right? But you wouldn't pick it out of his pocket.
yeah, I'm not that stupid. He's got some intelligence. Let's be honest. Yeah. Actually, he's got.
You're like pulling out a space cigarette and you're just like lighting it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Broncos.
So as
That's
you
my
do, the band all like stops playing again. He's like, "Senor, it is a Monday. I am afraid that if you smoke indoors on a Monday on this planet, you receive a fine."
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, senor. It is the will of the church.
The church is fucking.
Not
stupid.
even on Sundays. Just
So
Mondays.
I sort of like you can see Mako and he's like sort of crunching like the cigarette packet in his hand a little bit and he's like, all right. And he like wobbles his hand back into his
He's like,
pocket.
perhaps,
He's like,
senor, you would like to use one of the complimentary e-cigs on the house.
No, I only smoke Broncos.
Okay, senor. We get you your taco salad.
I really want that taco salad.
All right, so Jefferson, your compad, you have a data slate, right?
I have a data
So
slate.
your data slate beeps, and it's got all of the contact info you need for Father Dr. Roberto Cardicilla.
And Father Dr. Roberto Cardicilla is meeting us here.
No, you have to go to his hacienda,
Oh.
the hacienda of Los Buenos. But it's you finally got the route there, and
So why are we undercover? Why am I undercover as a bartender then?
Yeah.
So I figured you like just walked in and started serving yourself drinks.
Okay.
So he's not like undercover. He's basically
he's
just
not
behind
undercover.
the bar. Yeah.
He just walked up to the bar and started serving drinks. No one stopped him.
I see the data pad light up over at what was
This
Jim?
is
What
a
was your
terrible
character's name?
restaurant.
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
I look over at Jefferson and I'm like, hey,
Make
you
it
got
up.
you got it. What we need.
We got the drop.
They just let
Alright, then.
anybody be the bartender and they just give free taco salad.
Well,
It's
I
Sunday,
needed something
hey.
cinematic to start out. Forgive me if I
Jefferson
didn't.
is very charming. He probably need the persuade check to be like,
Yeah, I'm your temporary bartender for today. Scotty's out. They're like, we don't know only one named Scotty, senor. He's like, yeah, you know his real name. They're like, Roberto. They're like, yeah, Scotty Roberto.
We best then better be skedaddling then.
Okay, so
What?
the hacienda you're looking for is about 100 miles north of the spaceport that you're currently in.
do we have our ship is exclusively space travel, right?
So you don't actually have a ship. Your company's too poor. You just catch rides on tramp freighters.
Wow.
Have
We need
you,
to.
have you looked
like
at
that.
those? They are incredibly expensive.
Yeah, they're super expensive. They're like 1 million credits.
Take a loan based on the company later on, but right now, it's
This
Hitchhike.
job's gonna be 15,000 credits right here.
Oh wow.
So, in other words, it's covering costs. Very little profit.
And is there a planet called Santa?
Yeah, no, it's a system called Santa, but yes.
Oh.
The Santa system.
All right, I turn to Jefferson. I'm like, you gonna get us some of them vehicles?
I'll get right on making the arrangements.
I notice that I'm outside, so I pull out my Broncos again, and I light one up.
So
and I
he's
start
smoking a Bronco, and Jefferson's on his data pad or data slate and data slab. Ah, too many cyber tech.
And I
You
look
call
over
whatever
at
you
the
want, man.
I look
And so
over the
he's
two
on his
new.
data pad, like
So explain
booking reservation on local
sorry.
transit if he can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, so like when you begin looking information on local transit, of course, your Space Google apps kicks in, and it starts like bringing up like hundreds of transit ads from the spaceport, and they're like, "Do you need transit across the planet? Join Hayfields today." And then there's another one that's like, "Need a ground vehicle? We can get one to your position in under 30 seconds." Harrison's grad cycles.
So,
So the question is, what kind of ground vehicle are you looking for?
sheep.
Jeep. All right. Can you make